how concerned are you about the pandemic these days?
I have absolutely zero concern about the pandemic. I think that the fear-mongering out of the news and stuff like that is what's driving everybody to go crazy, including all these businesses that are asking for vaccine passports. Not only is it against what you should have to do in this country by giving up your right to freedom and giving up your medical information to people so that you can eat in their restaurant. The other problem in the whole situation is the fact that the fear has just got people going crazy. If the masks didn't work for the restaurants and the lockdowns didn't work for the restaurants and then no masks didn't work for the restaurants and then the masks again didn't work for the restaurants and then the new lockdown for the interior didn't last for the restaurants, what do they think that the government's going to do with their vaccine passport to help them actually make money? It's just crazy.
You know, I think initially, I will admit I wasn't very concerned back in March of 2020. But I think that what I've realized over the past, year and a half that we've been in the pandemic is that as a citizen who I don't work in healthcare, the pandemic's been something that we've heard about on the news, but has been really hard it's not as tangible. You know, for those of us who haven't had COVID or who aren't boots on the ground in the hospitals, it's been a hard thing to kind of grasp the idea that, there are ICUs that are full and that's a real thing. But we don't see that as everyday citizens because we're not there.
Well, it's been with us it's going to be 2 years here soon, and I feel like everybody knows and has been very informed on COVID, and I'm starting to believe that we should be focusing on other issues like our economy and our housing problem and the fact that our country is riddled in toxic drugs.
The other that is of concern to me is the healthcare workers that are not being vaccinated, and I'm quite pleased to see that there is a deadline in effect that they must be or they will lose their jobs, and I just can't imagine someone that isn't well could be looking after our other not well people.
Well, the vaccinations have been rolling along smoothly, and this area in Nova Scotia, the pandemic hasn't hit here hard, and I think a lot of that is thanks to the government. They've handled it well. So I'm not concerned, cautious of course, but I think we're doing okay.
Well, hopefully it gets through and everybody get a needle and everything turns out well, and I'll be glad when it's over with not having a mask. And I think the health care should be a little bit better.
What I'm very concerned about is the people who do not want to get vaccinated. I don't understand why they don't want to get vaccinated. I don't have, to me, the anti-vaxxers, I find them very disgusting for protesting in front of hospitals. Those medical people have to go through a lot, and it's the last thing they need to when they show up for work.
Yeah, so I think we're on the cusp of a fourth wave here in Nova Scotia, I think. So I'm a bit concerned about that. My kids didn't really handle the lockdown measures very well as far as, being homeschooled and, doing their schooling online. So that concerns me. We both, my husband and I, we both work from home, so we're not sort of out in the world as much as we were, really. But I don't know. I feel like the current government has been handling things really well as far as measures to keep the pandemic at bay, both provincially and federally.
I'm not sure the businesses of Calgary can withstand another closure. And, hopefully everybody will get vaccinated and we'll get done with this and go back to our normal lives, whatever that may be.
I am very concerned about the pandemic because it affects everybody's life, and I am afraid for everybody's health and well-being, especially our elder and kids in school and everybody. It's very important to everybody go and do vaccination.
Right now in Calgary, Alberta, we are at this stage, a critical stage. Our healthcare system is completely broken, and if we don't do something about it, all of us will suffer. We will pay in some shape, way, or form.
I'd say less. Just because everything seems to be more under control. It's an expectation now to wear masks. People know what they're doing. While at the beginning of the pandemic, everything just seemed very new. It just seems like we got our routine down. We know what we need to do to make sure everyone's safe. Everyone knows what needs to be done.
So now that I'm double vaxxed, I feel better. Like I feel a bit like that blanket of security. But before, it was definitely stress. I was stressed at work. I used to wear 2 masks because I was afraid of getting it. So.
And what about you? How concerned are you about the pandemic?
Yeah, I'm pretty concerned. My dad and I are both kind of higher risk in the category like that, so we're a little bit more hesitant to go out, and I don't think my parents have eaten out since the pandemic began, so we're obviously concerned and we're taking our precautions. We're double vaxxed and all that still, so still a little bit concerned though.
Right now, at the moment, I'm not concerned about it. With the variants and the unvaccinated population, that concerns me a bit more. Just because they will continue to mutate a lot faster. And it's also just concerning for that population itself. Like, they're going to get sick, most likely. And, like, we might disagree, but I still don't want them to get sick. So, yeah, I'm not so concerned for myself, but definitely that part of society.
I'm concerned. I'm concerned about the new variants. You know, they all seem to do something different, so I'm afraid that because there are new variants, those of us that are vaccinated are going to end up needing another vaccine, or that ours won't work or be as efficient.
Due to also people that aren't being vaccinated, because they're not vaccinated, these variants are coming out and they put us all at risk. Like, we're vaccinated, like our father's at risk. We're vaccinated for him. Like, we may not die, but he will die if he gets it.